Hello, everyone. Welcome to Facebook for Business. We're running a little bit behind this afternoon with the technology curve, but I think I've mastered it. I've got a great program in store for all of you today. Let's just do a quick look, see if anybody's joined me yet. I'll be streaming this live on Facebook, and I think I need to share the link with just bear with me for a moment while I figure out a couple of things here. Okay, let's do it this way. I'll just wait for a moment. I think I need to send the link so everyone can see that we're going live now. I'll give it a moment to see if anybody there? Welcome to Facebook for Business 2020. I'm your host, Scott Moran. I'm just going to wait just a few moments to see. I'm communicating with several others, so I want to give a few minutes for everyone to come on board. We've delayed this a week and a day, and so I want to make sure everyone has an opportunity to get on board. If you have friends that you want to invite, now would be a good time to do that. I'll wait a few minutes before we get started. I am recording this, so this will be available later, but there's going to be an editing process, so it'll take a little bit. We're able to leave comments in Facebook. It is a fully functional Facebook Live, so everything that you can do in a Facebook Live can be done in this environment. I'm using a studio to broadcast, so it'll be a little bit different than you normally do a Facebook Live from your phone. So it'll be exciting. I've got a lot of great material to cover. It has taken me, like I said, a full time effort with very minimal sleep over the last week and a day, even right up to right now. Less than 30 minutes ago, I finished the last piece of the presentation. So I have something that I promise you will be like no other Facebook for Business seminar you've ever been to. Now, I hear that already with seminars that I conduct live. I hear people tell me that all the time, and you'll see some of that in the reviews if you look at the reviews of the seminar that I do live. But I didn't realize how much material I cover verbally and how that has to be broken down when I deliver the content online. So every single thing, every click, every slide, everything that I do in the offline environment had to be duplicated online. And it's interesting because I caught myself a few times just assuming that people who were watching would know how to do some things. And as I reviewed each segment, and I looked at each one of these slide by slide, so uh, and I would go back and look at it again and say, oh, wait a minute, I just spoke something without giving an instruction on how to do it, just assuming that people might know how to do it. What I've come to find out is a lot of people don't really know how to use Facebook for Business, which is why my seminars are so popular. So again, I'm waiting a few more minutes to see if you're inviting anybody else. If you have a link to this, if you can share that link, please, so that I can see what that link looks like, and I can send it to the people that. Let me see if I tag a couple of people and see if it yeah, okay, that's what I'll do. I'll just tag some people and see if there we go. I'll tag a few people that I know. That works out perfect. And let's see here. Okay, and we have 5. Excuse me. I want to give a special shout out and thanks to Mo. The biggest delay in getting this done yesterday was I had lost my voice, and Mo was kind enough. She's my neighbor now, I'm proud to say. We live about 10 minutes apart. She actually brought over some doTERRA essential oils, a a mixture that she formulated that would help get my voice back. And as you can see, my voice is back. And so I wanted to give a very special thanks to Mo, and I tagged her in that. And so, hey, Joe, since you're watching, if you could tag and send out the link to this, I'll wait just a few more minutes. Why don't I just say I'll start at 1:30? It's 1:24 right now. We're all at home anyway. So we'll just wait another 6 more minutes, and I'm going to dive in and get going. So I'll give us another 6 more minutes, and we will start rocking and rolling. I promise you it'll be worth the wait. This is probably my most informative seminar I've ever done, even more so than my live seminars. It's funny when you do a 3 hour live seminar and then I do them back to back. I've even been known to do three in a day, one in the morning, one in the afternoon, and one in the evening. And it's amazing. None of them are exactly alike. Yes, I have a slide, but the nature of the live seminar lends itself to kind of go in the direction of certain questions that participants may have. So, needless to say, some information may not be covered in every seminar. So they're all, I get the feedback that everybody learns a tremendous amount of stuff. And so what I've done is I've taken everything that should have been delivered in my 3 hour seminar, which is which is condensed from a 6 hour. I used to do a 6 hour all day, what I call a super Saturday. I condensed it down to the most important content I thought was most important to beginning business users on Facebook, and that resulted in a 3 hour, basically a 3 hour workshop. And like I said, sometimes material gets missed because a question may be rather more involved, and we go down a rabbit hole dealing with a particular subject matter, and just time doesn't permit to come back to that exact point and finish the material. So sometimes material gets mixed. Now, my audience never knows that because they feel they were empowered. They learned a lot about the particular subjects we did cover due to the questions that were asked in the live sessions. But I tell you, I went through this last 2 weeks, and I promise you, in the next, I think our seminars now will be shorter. I think in about 2 hours, I'll be able to cover everything that should have been covered during those seminars with a much more informative way, and still be able to take questions and handle it. It's just this is probably my most proudest piece that I've accomplished in my professional career, and I did that during the 2 weeks of downtime that we've been at home. And I tell you, it's interesting, and I want to share this with you before we get started. These times have forced me to become more innovative and creative. And it should for you too. So I promise you, I'm going to give you some tools in just a few minutes that you're going to be able to use so that you can start using Facebook as a business. So we've got 10 people on board. Why don't we go ahead and get started? I'm going to switch over here, make sure that this still shows the way it's supposed to. And we're going to get started. If you have any questions, I can look in the chat box for Facebook Live, and so we'll just do it that way for now. But if you can save your questions, I have a period at the end where you can do questions and answers. So if you have a question, go ahead and post it. I guess you can do that, but make sure that we come back to it when we get to the Q&A section. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with Facebook for Business. Again, I'm your host, Scott Moran. Okay, before we get started, I'd like to briefly explain how we're going to proceed today. First, I'm going to share with you a little about me and how I became involved in Facebook for Business. Then we're going to discuss my proven approach to solving lead generation challenges when using Facebook for your business. I'll share proven solutions that I'm using in my own business right now and also with my clients and what you can be doing to get more leads. I'll introduce you to some of my clients and what I've been doing to help them generate specific targeted demographic leads for their business. Next, you can see for yourself in the many testimonials exactly how pleased my clients are with the results that they've gotten. Then we'll get started doing for you what I've been doing for my clients to generate more leads using Facebook for Business. Then we're going to dive right in with a basic understanding of the two sides of Facebook. Once you understand the two sides of Facebook, then I can show you how to leverage Facebook's built-in search engine optimization to increase your exposure. We're going to start by optimizing your profile for maximum lead generation. Then I'll introduce you to the most powerful Facebook apps that can help you start generating leads immediately. I'll show you how to use these apps to create Facebook funnels that can generate leads and funnel your new leads into a conversion cycle, turning friends into paying clients. Next, we'll take a brief survey to see where you're at with what I've shared with you today. You'll have an opportunity to share with me any specific challenges that you may have. And then I'll ask for a review of my seminar so I can continue to meet the needs of my audiences in future presentations. And finally, we'll have an opportunity to answer any questions you may have relating to what you learned today. So that's pretty much an agenda of what's going to take place. Then, if you're curious about how to become involved in any of my coaching programs, or you wish to learn more about my products and services, I'll go over next steps to getting involved. What I really want to share with you today is that this is not a sales presentation. If you have your laptop out, you're going to be able to click and follow through and get some things done when it comes to using Facebook for your business. I can share with you right now the things that I've shared in the live seminars. When I put this together, and I went over the things that, with the feedback that I've gotten from my clients on what the most important things are that they learned from my seminars, you will actually begin getting traction today from what I'm going to share with you. This is actually going to start working as soon as we get offline. So this is not a sales presentation. I'll never show you a sales price list at the end. I'll never go into anything that say, hey, here's a little bit of this, and if you want the full meal, you got to hire me as a client. I don't believe in that type of taking up your time for a 2 or 3 hour sales presentation. This is a how to use Facebook for your business. If you like what I put together and you want to see what I can do for you as a client, then we can discuss that offline. Fair enough? All right, let's get started with a little bit about me. I won't go back to the day I was born, but let's just start saying I learned basic selling techniques as a Boy Scout. I don't know how many Boy Scouts or Girl Scouts we have out there, but I started my early career fundraising and participating in Boy Scouts of America. When I grew out of Boy Scouts, I went into the U.S. Army. Now, I don't have a photo for the U.S. Army because I like to say when I was a kid, I was in the Army, and then I became a man and went to the Marine Corps. So that's the photo that represents my military career. Then I went, during the time I was in the Marine Corps, I made a somewhat of a career out of it. I attended San Joaquin Delta College, Olympic College, and Northwestern University. I studied law. I got a law degree from California and went on to study philosophy and became a minister. A lot of people don't know that about me. I'm not ordained currently, but I was an ordained minister for many years. And I've married couples and I've buried people. So from Boy Scouts to the Army to the Marine Corps to a lawyer to a minister, and now I'm a national sales trainer. I got my sales training mostly from Tom Hopkins. Many of you have heard of Tom Hopkins. He's the international bestseller, How to Master the Art of Sales. There's a photo of me there holding up the book. I'm a 4-time national sales competition winner with Tom Hopkins organization. So nationally competing with thousands of salespeople for 4 years in a row, I was the #1 national sales achiever and trainer for Tom Hopkins. I I love to have fun. I'm a gold medalist in the Barbershop Harmony Society. I traveled for a year with an award-winning chorus and quartet, singing a cappella, nothing but barbershop harmony style songs. And that's a picture of me with the trophy, and and my quartet. I'm a competition surfer. I haven't competed in a number of years, but as a kid, and both in the Marine Corps, I traveled all over the world and competed as a surfer. And there's me on the yellow surfboard there. I've been photographed nationally in national surfer competition magazines. I have a pilot's license, and my friend Joe, I know he's watching there. We like to say Joe's a plane guy because he lives in a plane, and Joe and I share that affinity that we both have a pilot's license. And I have the unique distinction of having bought an interest in a plane when I was younger, and there's something quite exhilarating about flying and being able to go to the airport and get in your own plane and take off without having to go to customs. It's kind of a fun experience. I also competed in competition motocross. I was a motocross racer growing up as a kid, and continued to do that through my years in the Army, and kind of got away from it when I went in the Marine Corps. There were more important things to occupy my time with the Marines. And then a cyclist. I'm a cyclist competing in there's a program called the Hotter Than Hell 100, which is uh, a a biking event that takes place in Wichita Falls, Texas. And it's not really a competition; it's an event. It's 100 miles in 100-degree heat, and they call it the Hotter Than Hell 100. And I've done that 2 years in a row, and so I'm kind of proud of that. I love to have fun doing that. Then I got involved in real estate and became Realtor of the Year with over 300 real estate transactions in my first year. Real estate was something that I was very passionate about, and I was excited to begin a career in real estate. I'm a real estate coach to over 20,000 real estate agents. I was a part founder in two different companies, foreclosure.com and How to Get Rich in Real Estate and Have a Life. Those are two companies that I was very instrumental in and part founding those organizations. Published more than 22 books on how, or participated in the publishing of more than 22 books with my sections in there, unique to what I did and what I brought to the table in real estate. So I don't share this to impress you. In fact, you can see the photos there. I wasn't very impressive. I never wore the tux and tie and the suit and tie and the tuxedos at events. When I would show up at events to get awards, I usually wore a purple pimp outfit, and they nicknamed me the property pimp. And so it was kind of a fun adventure in real estate, having fun and doing it my way. I have many high-profile clients. Senator John McCain, who ran for president, you'll see him pictured there with me in his office. Behind me, if you notice on the wall there, those are all the Time magazine covers that John McCain was on during the time that he was senator from Arizona. And I had the privilege of working directly with him on several pieces of legislation that affected the foreclosure recovery. You'll see another one of my clients, Alice Cooper, who's a rock star. He also lives in Phoenix, Arizona. Then I got into coaching and did some really neat things. I started coaching business clients that wanted to achieve more. And you'll see me there with in my property pimp outfit with Charmaine Hunt, who made it to The Apprentice, and Tammy Trenta, another client who made it to The Apprentice. I've coached 4 clients who made their appearance on The Apprentice, and you'll see me there with Robin Leach of the Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous. And so I've had the distinct privilege of being able to work with some very high-profile clients, and I've had a lot of fun doing that. I'm very active in community and charity. Many people who know me, my passion is Rotary, and Rotary allows us to get involved. We'll talk a little bit more about community involvement and how that affects your participation in social media. I'm very active in Scouts, having gone through the ranks of Boy Scouts. Annually, I used to take all the Girl Scouts. I had 5 Hummers in my real estate business, all wrapped in the American flag you can see there. And I would take all the Girl Scouts to their summer camp in my 5 Hummers. They'd load up the Hummers and we'd take them to summer camp and go pick them up and bring them back home. It was a very fun way, a way to get me noticed in the community and business. And you couldn't pay for that kind of publicity, and it was fun to give back to the community in that way. I'm very active years ago in digging wells in Africa. This is a very passionate project of mine. If you ever get into studying why there's problems in Africa, many of it has to do with being able to have clean drinking water. So I was very active, and you can see me there displaying one of my checks. I wrote checks every week to dig a well in Africa for a year. It was a fun project that I was fortunate and blessed to be involved in. Very active in law enforcement. Sheriff Joe Arpaio, who was the toughest sheriff in America from Maricopa County in Arizona, where I live. I would actually purchase. He had a volunteer posse, and we would use our volunteerism in the community to raise money for different projects. I actually donated the flashing speed limit signs that are posted in school zone throughout the community that I lived in Anthem, Arizona. And so I'm very active in community and charity. And this probably will give you the best explanation of what I did in real estate. I'm going to start this, and I'll pick up in a moment when that finishes.
Hello there. Someone who you know or work with sent you this message because they know it's something that may be of incredible value to you. There's a brand new resource available to you that's proven and effective, and it'll show you how to either become very successful in real estate or even more successful than you might already be, and you don't even have to have a license to take advantage of it. This is information for everyone. It's an opportunity for success whether you're a real estate professional looking to grow your existing business, or if you always wanted to make money in real estate and just really never had the time to follow through. How would you like to find out what Gene Schein, the #1 Coldwell Banker agent worldwide, Matt Jones, a rookie that listed 107 homes his first year, and Heidi Kynes, who closed $29.7 million her 4th year in real estate, all have in common? You'll find out for yourself. Scott Moran, the nation's leading real estate sales trainer, will show you how.
The real estate market, not quite as grim as many are saying, or so says one local housing expert. He says now is the time to buy, and as ABC 15's Catherine Garcia shows us, he's using some pretty outrageous tactics.
The benefit of a market right now that is in a tumble with a mortgage crisis is that new people can get involved. The market's very forgiving.
With all the turmoil, the foreclosures, and idling property, realtors forced to get creative, and no one more than Scott Moran.
In one of those ways, the Investor Express, a tour bus for realtors and buyers.
It's an opportunity for one of our investors that has been sifting and sorting through different types of properties to actually get on the bus. We can take them to 7 or 8 properties right there in a few hours.
This time, it's 25 investors piling in and hitting the open road.
It's $399.9, so let's go see if it makes sense for you.
You fill that bathtub, you gotta wait there a minute.
But does it work? Investment couple Frank and Jill Giannino say yes.
Well, there's absolutely no question that we're going to be writing contracts this week. Absolutely.
Catherine Garcia, ABC 15 News, your Valley News leader.
Scott is the most powerful coach in the real estate industry today. His course is the essential first step to get you moving in the right direction. He'll show you everything you need to begin developing your business, whether you're a seasoned sales veteran or a new rookie just starting out, or if you don't have a license at all. Again, this is for everyone. Scott's course will have you at the top of the market in just a few short weeks.
And when we first started out, we were only doing about 1 house, but in a short time of 8 months, because the sales materials were so effective, our team is right now transacting about 30 houses a month.
And I've said it before, and I can't say it again, can't say it enough. Scott has been one of the biggest assets to us in starting our business. And thank you, Scott, for everything, really.
Scott takes the old, outdated sales techniques and just throws them out the window. Most sales training today is based on techniques developed over a generation ago, and taught by trainers who really have never done it. They've never sold in today's fast-paced, hot real estate markets. Scott's tools and strategies are field-tested and proven to get results the very same day you walk out of the seminar.
Hi, I'm Kevin. I first met Scott Moran at his free introductory workshop, and after the workshop I was so excited I enrolled in his boot camp, and I tell you, in the boot camp I learned advanced investment techniques that I had no idea, even as a real estate licensee, I had no idea they even existed. So one of the techniques Scott taught me was how to take my money from my IRA and my 401k and invest in real estate with it. So the best advice I can give you is to enroll today in his boot camp.
Hi, my husband and I met Scott at a workshop, and we've been using a lot of the tools and techniques he's been teaching us, one of them being using our IRA money to do investments in real estate. And it's really incredible the tools that we've learned through Scott. We're so happy with his program. The best advice I can give you is to take advantage of Scott's boot camp and take your...
Hi, my name is LaBertha, and I'm an attorney here in Phoenix, Arizona, and I have been coming to a workshop with Scott Moran, and I thought I knew the law very well. I thought I knew real estate law. I thought I knew everything it was to know about real estate and what a person would need to know to do a contract. And I was absolutely shocked that everything I learned in law school and everything I've learned as an attorney, I didn't know 1/10 of what I should have known before I came to his workshop. And I'm telling you, now that I know what I know, I'm putting it to use, not only for myself, but for clients as well. So I am so grateful that I met Scott, that he has introduced me and allowed me to become part of this process. Thank you. Thank you so much for everything I've learned, and it's working. It works.
Hi, my name is Lisa, and I attended Scott's boot camp seminar at the advice of my attorney. And I was delighted and excited that I did. After the seminar, I decided I better go to the 4B seminar. And once I attended that seminar, Scott made a statement in the class that over 50% of the people would leave the seminar and not make any money. I decided right then and there that that would not be me. So that weekend I said, hey, let me try this and let me see if this actually works. Called my realtor up. We did 15 deals that weekend. I got 11 contracts. I called another realtor friend of mine. She wrote up 5 contracts for me, and I got 4 of those deals. In the month of December, I have 20 properties, and I stand to make over $250,000.
Hi, my name is Michelle Bonhart. I met Scott a month ago in his free workshop, and I decided to take his 2 days of boot camp. And after the boot camp, I learned so much from it. And I went out, did what he told me to do. I sat down with him, and he gave me that one component that I really needed. So I did 3 transactions, over $400,000.
Hi, my name is John. My wife and I bought our first property from Scott in September of 06. We were so impressed with the results we got from that. We joined his company, and in 10 months since I've been there, we are well into 6 figures in net profit from real estate.
Hi, my name is Pat House. I met Scott Moran at his free introductory workshop. Decided to go to his boot camp and picked up a property at $200,000 below market value. And the best advice I can give you is to go to his workshop, check out...
Hi, this is Bob Denton, host of Low Tech Soup. About 9-10 weeks ago, a friend of mine called me and said, come see this opportunity that I'm hosting and I've come in contact with. And I went, thanks, but no thanks, Mark. He kept bugging me, he kept telling me, you got to come see this opportunity. You've got to meet Scott Moran. I said, just for you, Mark, I'll be glad to. I went out one morning, drove all the way from the airport, sat at a meeting at 7 a.m., met Scott Moran, saw the dynamic of Scott Moran, and knew I had found a home. I immediately went back to the studio, recorded an overview of what I saw and who Scott Moran is. And today, the vision that I've dreamed of for many, many years of being involved with a group where I needed to be for many, many years. And as I said, I found a home. I've brought them into 1010 AM. With Scott's help, we've created the marketplace. And the rest will be history. So I look forward to working with all of you, helping all of you grow your business and be the success that Scott Moran to make it.
Get ready for selling in the new millennium. This is absolutely the best business building information and financial building information that you'll ever receive. In fact, your participation in this workshop can define your career or a future career in real estate. Register now and let Scott show you how to take your business to the next level. Thank you for visiting. We look forward to contributing to the success of your business.
Okay, we're back. Had a little issue with the camera. I hope it didn't affect the user experience on your end too much. I'm going to just double check, make sure that everything worked the way it was supposed to. Again, we're experimenting with some technology. Everybody's still on board? Everybody hear me? Okay, I'm just going to pick up where we left off, assuming that everybody is still on board.
Hello there.
Okay, so I'm a Boy Scout, soldier, Marine, minister, lawyer, surfer, cyclist, motocross racer, mortgage broker, insurance broker, real estate broker, national sales champ, national sales trainer, and a Facebook app developer. I've done a lot of things in my life and have a lot of experience doing a lot of stuff. I've won the national sales contests and done some amazing things. I've lived a life incredibly full and rich with friends scattered all over the world. Real friends that I can pick up the phone and call and talk to and go visit. Not just friends that we have on Facebook that we know probably aren't really all our friends to begin with. In fact, that's a statistical fact. But I have a lot of friends that have a very rich and rewarding life. So recently added to my titles is cowboy. I'm known in my market for riding my horse to Starbucks every day. I've had several horses that I used to ride to Starbucks, and now I live in a place where that's not possible to do that anymore as I relocated to the Sugar Land, Texas area. But all of those titles pale in comparison to my title as husband to my smoking hot wife. So why did I share all of this with you? I wanted you to know that I run a business just like you. Many of you are in business and you're going through some struggles right now, having to navigate these strange times with how to get business. What do we do now that we can't go? It's interesting because I became a networking expert in about a year. It took me 5 weeks to really fine-tune what I wanted to talk about, and then a year after that to fine-tune it and put it in a book. That happened at 9/11. I worked with Tom Hopkins, and one of the things that we do at Tom Hopkins is when it's time, and nobody knows the magic time, but at some time, you're ready to go on your own. And my time came. And when someone leaves the Tom Hopkins organization and goes out on their own, you have to understand we have trained sales companies, Fortune 50 companies, all across America. And it's kind of special when we go out and start our own consulting firm. Because what are we going to do now? How are we going to compare with the contacts that we've made? And we taught them all of Tom Hopkins' material and all of Tom's good stuff. And we've sold a lot of books that Tom wrote. What are we going to contribute to that? So when somebody's ready to go on their own and they fine-tune the material, and now they kind of have their own flavor, their own acronyms, and their own teaching style, that's kind of special. What usually happens is after the 1 week of boot camp, we have a big party for the person who's launching on their own, and we kind of kick them out of the nest, and they go, well, my time came. And it was August. Boot camp is usually the last week of August. And I had a full year worth of speaking engagements all lined up. And I was going to go and visit every major city in the United States, many of them 2 and 3 times, working with different businesses over the next 14 months. I had my American Express card was maxed out at $50,000 for hotels and plane tickets. And I'll never forget, my first flight was September 16th. And we all know what happened on September 11th. And when that happened, my entire life turned upside down. I had nowhere to go. I had to figure out how to get clients. So I became a networking professional very quick. In fact, in preparing for this seminar, I was able to look at different videos and look at some things that I've done. And I saw my very first public speaking gig that I did with a handful of people. There were probably 40 people there that were from a couple of networking groups. And I talked about very basic networking skills. It was the evolution of the 30-second commercial and some basic networking protocol like proper placement of a name tag and handing out business cards or not handing out business cards, that type of thing. And it was amazing to look back at that old material that I thought was long ago non-existent. And I look at what I've done today, and it was humbling to look at that, to think that to look at myself that many years ago, right after 9/11, and what the country was going through. But I say that because I was forced to get innovative and creative to stay in business, and that's exactly what happened in the last month. Right now, I can't go out and speak and engage an audience the way that I'm used to. And now we have to do it online. So anyway, long story short, I put together some powerful techniques and tools for you that will help you use Facebook to reach more clients and generate more leads and convert those clients into sales. I said I was going to talk with you about my approach. My approach is a 4-segmented approach. Now, these are the 4 areas that I focus on when I start working with clients. So although you're not my clients, I'm going to approach this seminar in the same way, giving you everything that I would give a client. But you're going to do the research, of course, and I'll share with you the strategy. And together we're going to create some stuff. And then the final point, promote. This is the basic strategy we use in approaching social media. Let's get started with the research. The brand analysis is the first thing we research when I start working with a client. And in the brand analysis, that's a fancy business term for what is the one thing that you do. Now, if you're familiar with my 30-second workshop, you'll know that the one thing that you do should be coming out loud and clear in your we specialize in. So we specialize in, now the example I'm going to use for this is my good friend Oralia. I wonder if you're on Oralia. I'll tag her real quick and see if she was able to join us. But this is the example I'm going to use. She's a nutrition coach, and she's been struggling with fine-tuning the finer points of her one thing. So I've laid out an example that I want to share with you, what I used with her. But you need, right now, if you're taking notes, you should on the side write one thing that you specialize in. Because without understanding the one thing that you do, everything else that we do from here on out on social media is going to be a waste of time. Now, it's obvious we can be flexible, and restaurants that specialize in a fine dining experience right now are having to switch their focus to delivery and do some things. notwithstanding any of that, we need to be flexible to make money as entrepreneurs. But there is one thing that you do. My friend Henry, let's see if Henry's on. My friend Henry with Pro Roof Restorations, they specialize in roofs. And although they do a lot of other things, they're looking for a roofing job. Let me see if I can tag those guys over there and see if they're on board. Anyway, all right. So notwithstanding the one thing that the other things that you can do that stem out of that, you need to clearly articulate the one thing that you do. That's going to open up a bunch of other things for us so that we can see where your target demographic is. Obviously, if Henry and Stuart specialize in roofs, they're not looking for someone who lives in an apartment as a client, because people who live in an apartment, their roof is taken care of by somebody else. Now, the owner of the apartment might be a good lead for Henry and Stuart, but you need to clearly identify the one thing that you do. And that can easily be said, and we specialize in. That's why networking, offline networking, when you're offline and you're networking out in the community, that's very similar to social networking. The behaviors that you're doing are very similar to what you should be doing online. If you're out and about and participating in networking meetings and you're not having much success, you're not going to have much greater success online. And most of that can be determined by just listening to somebody's 30-second commercial. I can listen to your 30-second commercial and I can tell how well you're doing or how challenged you may be in a networking environment, and definitely how that translates to online social media traction. So what's the one thing that you specialize in? That needs to be clearly articulated in a way that's not confusing. One of the ways we do this is by, now, an example of that is, I'll get into an example with Oralia here in a moment, but we specialize in helping people get healthy and lose weight through proper diet and nutrition. One of the ways we do this is through our proprietary line of nutritional supplements. That might be one of the things that she could say. Or one of the ways we do this is with our seminars that we do over at the hotel every Thursday. So where we teach you how to eat healthy and lose weight. So you have the one thing that you do, that's your brand analysis. What is the objective? How do you do the one thing that you do? What are some things that you can communicate? This is going to show us where your target demographic is hiding. Thank you, Greg, for one thing 1% better every day. Thank you, Greg, for that. And I think Greg means do one thing and make it 1% better every day. Greg is a coach. So in the comments right there, go ahead and write the one thing that you specialize in. And I can look for that. Maybe I could grab an example. We specialize in helping businesses understand the business side of Facebook. So that's my talking point. Everything that I do centers around specializing in helping people understand, or helping businesses, if I want to define my demographic even better, helping businesses understand the business side of Facebook. One of the ways we do this is through our free Facebook for Business seminars, like what you're engaging in right now. So although that sounds articulated in a conversation, Reno, welcome Reno. Reno says, Reno specializes in teaching people how money works. So what's one of the ways you do that, Reno? One of the ways we do this is by, so Reno already says he specializes in teaching people how money works. And he'll share with me with one of the ways. So obviously Reno, I would suspect, is involved in financial planning. I know that he was representing a book when I met Reno. In fact, when I first met Reno, not knowing him from anybody, I thought he was an author because of the way he did his 30-second commercial. He was referencing a book, and I don't believe he is an author. I believe Reno is a financial involved in the financial planning industry. So, what is the one thing that you do that you specialize in that could lead to other conversations? One of the ways we do this is by XYZ. A good lead for me is someone you know who, and there's 4 profiles. This is a very basic exercise. Now, this is a Facebook for Business seminar. It's not a networking engagement seminar. It is a Facebook for Business seminar. So why are we talking about networking? This is a template, a blueprint for articulating in 30 seconds or less what you do and who you do it for. That basically clearly identifies your target audience. Dina, welcome Dina. She specializes in real estate. So I would encourage you in a conversation to say, rather than real estate, we specialize in helping people solve this problem. Get used to communicating that way. I specialize in helping people solve a problem. If you talk to yourself that way, the way that you communicate what you do, I can use anybody for real estate. I could throw a rock out my window right now, and it would probably land on a real estate agent. There are thousands of real estate agents in any given metroplex. And I think Houston, the Houston Association of Realtors, is the largest real estate board, I believe, in the United States. So it's big. I can literally throw a rock and hit a realtor, or sneeze and spread corona. Probably a bad joke right now. But there are real estate agents everywhere. So rather than say you specialize in real estate, Dina, I would rather you say I specialize in helping renters own a home. That identifies a clear target audience. Who are you serving? Renters. That's something that you're looking for. So when you get used to communicating in this way that I give you this format, we specialize in, one of the ways we do this is by this. A good lead for me is someone you know who, now in a network environment, you wouldn't give all 4. You would give 1 each week. I want you to take this exercise with you. And the reason why I want you to do this is because this tool right here, I'm going to see if, I don't think I can post it in a live. I'll have to deliver it in another way. It will be available in this group. Let's do this. I will do this. I'll go to the group and I'll put it in the group called Facebook for Business. Let me do that for you right here, real quick. And then I'll give you the tool that you can use inside this group. And I'll put all of our tools in there, by the way. Here is the link to the group. I would encourage you to join this group, and I'll put everything that we talked about today will be in this group in the files. So Reno says one of the ways we do this is through How the Money Works book and seminars. Okay, budgeting and saving for retirement. Okay, Reno, those are some good points. So this, I hope this helps you understand that before we get into how Facebook works, you need to do your part in laying the proper foundation so you can get traction from the tools I'm going to share with you today. Does that make sense? I hope it makes dollars and cents. And this will show you, so in the brand research, when I start working with clients, I focus on the brand analysis. What's the one thing you do? How do you do it? Who do you serve? And where are these people at? So it's the one thing you do. How do you do it? Who do you serve? And where are they? If you can answer those questions, now obviously, where are they is not Sugar Land or Richmond or Katy, Texas. Where are they means where are these people at in life? Are they renting? Reno, where are your people at? Maybe they're participating. Maybe they're government employees working for either the teachers' retirement program or the city, county, state, where they have 403B plans. Maybe they're working for a large corporation or they have a 401k plan. But where are these people? These are your prospects. Where are they at? Where are they shopping? What are their behaviors? These are called the social demographics. Where are the people in your target demographic? So if you look at it like a funnel, we can't tell where your client is until you tell us what your client's doing. If your client is budgeting and saving for retirement, Reno, I can tell you that people who are budgeting and saving for retirement, that's too broad. That's you need to spell that out in a different way, because I don't know anyone who's budgeting and saving for retirement. To be quite honest with you, that's not something that I hear people say. I can't go on vacation because I'm saving for retirement. I never hear anybody say that. Maybe in the 60s people said things like that. I can't do that because usually somebody will say today, I can't do that because I don't have enough money. But you don't usually hear somebody say, I can't do that because I'm saving and budgeting for retirement. So where are these people at? And I just picked on Rudy as an example because he's the one giving some feedback here. Don't be shy. If you put some comments in there, I'll acknowledge you if I catch it. So what's the one thing you do? How do you do it? Who do you serve? And where are they? That starts before you even start prospecting. You need to answer those questions, because now we know where to start fishing for your prospects. We know what ponds to go fishing in because we know where your fish are at. Does that make sense? So think of it like this. Now that you've got your one thing that you do, okay, you should be able to talk about 3 things related to that one thing. And in those 3 things, a natural evolution of 5 more things dealing with just one of those 3 things should be able to come out of you. And then one of those 5 things should easily lead to 7 more things about a specific thing you talked about in one of the 5. And in one of the 7, you should easily articulate 10 things about one of those 7. If you notice, the one thing you do turned into 17, 18, 19, 25 things. The one thing you did turned into 25 things that are all related to the one thing that you do. If you're not able to articulate this, then the challenge in helping you in social media is going to be expensive. You're going to spend more money figuring this out while you're trying to find your target demographic, wasting money on ads, boosting posts, trying to go after a particular target demographic when you'll get a lead, but you may not be able to convert that lead into a client because someone else is clearly articulating 25 other things related to their one thing, and you haven't worked this out in this manner. I hope this is making sense. You can see in the graphic there that the one thing you do is your lowest common denominator. It's focusing on a specific target demographic. I sell real estate, and I'm looking for people who rent. That's the lowest common denominator. Profile behaviors. Here are things that renters are doing. They're buying new cars. Instead of investing in a house, they're buying a car. So someone you know who just bought a new car, that might be a good lead for a realtor. They're renting a house and they probably live in an apartment. So there's 2 things related to my demographic, and they're overextended on their credit card debt. They don't believe they qualify to buy a house because they say things like their credit's bad. Those are probably 3 things right there that I would list about the one thing I do is helping renters own a home. Well, here's 5 things that you can do to improve your credit. Where did I get that? That came from one of the 3 things. Here are 5 things you can do to boost your credit score. And then from there, one of those 5 things, I can go into 7 more things and then 10 things. I hope you get the idea that this is a funnel of information that begins to very quickly establish you as a leading authority. It's interesting, Reno was talking about he uses a book helping people understand how money works, and they have a book that they use. Reno, I want to encourage you, if you did the 3, 5, 7, 10, you clearly identify the one thing you do and you work on this exercise, you won't need a book anymore. You will sound like a book. In other words, you will sound authoritative and credible every time you open your mouth. And now, interestingly enough, when you get 25 talking points down for what you do and how to do it, and the various different areas that you can focus on, and you do one of these for each of those areas, you can impromptu accept an invitation to speak on the radio or a television interview, and not sweat it, and not even be concerned that somebody might ask a question that you don't understand. When it comes to real estate, I want to tell you right now, when it comes to real estate, there is real estate is a legal profession. It's regulated by laws that are on the books. It's very difficult to change those laws. In Texas, those laws go back to 6 different countries that different times owned Texas, the 6 flags over Texas. That's where they get that from. But there are laws on the books in Texas dealing with real estate that go back hundreds of years. So real estate is almost unchangeable, except for when they change a law to regulate a specific part of it. I made it my business to study everything there was to know about real estate. Every single day, I was in a class or 2 or 3, or I was working with a client that gravitated towards me because I tend to know more about what I was talking about than other experienced agents in my industry. So very quickly, I became a real estate expert. Later in my career, I was actually hired by the state of Arizona as a real estate expert and the FBI, 2 different government agencies that hired me for my expertise and paid me for my expert testimony. So I became the leading authority in my market on anything to do with real estate because I basically did the 1, 3, 5, 7, 10, but on a much greater scale. And I was doing seminars. One year I did 30 seminars in a year. That's a lot of seminars, almost every week. So I was doing seminars, teaching myself before I would publicly talk about it. So you absolutely must know your craft. It's interesting, I shared before, for those of you who got on early, I had lost my voice. Excuse me just a second. I had lost my voice. I didn't think I'd be able to deliver this yesterday. My friend Mo, who's with doTERRA Oils, brought a mixture that she had made over to me. And thank you again, Mo. I don't know if you were on when I thanked you, but thank you again. And I started asking her about what I thought it was. And I used the word homeopathic because that's a term I'm familiar with. And I had thought that meant something a little bit different. And she clarified it. She knows her stuff. She said, this is not true homeopathic. It is natural and it's all great, but it's not what you think it is. It's more. It's more concentrated. It's better. And it's so I was educated a little bit And nobody's ever told me that before. So I know that when it comes to essential oils, if I have any question about anything, I know who to go talk to because she clearly knows her stuff. And if you've ever seen any of her videos, she does some videos online establishing her credibility and her authority in her craft. So I strongly encourage you to understand what your 1, 3, 5, 7, 10 is and spend a little bit of time doing this so that you understand you must appear as the authority. The marketplace must think of you when they think of your industry. If that's not happening, then you're not communicating enough. It's more than I sell real estate. It's more than I'm a doTERRA independent rep. It's more than I help people plan better financially for their future. It's so much more than that because the minute we get into the online environment, everything is magnified. It's an exploded view of how well you do know what you're doing or how well you don't. Because you will either thrive or you will die. Or you'll just make a bunch of videos and talk to yourself and the 5 people that think you're great. I want to help you extend beyond that 5 people. So here's an example. And I'll post this. In fact, I don't know if you can see this from your screen. Let's see if we can do it this way. There we go. So here's the example. And this, again, is the example that I created for Oralia. She specializes in helping people get healthy and lose weight through proper diet and nutrition. The one thing that she does actually covers 4 specific areas that she can begin establishing her expertise in. Helping people get healthy, lose weight, proper diet, and nutrition. Those are 4 very distinct categories. She can talk about areas of health. There's 3 areas of health: mental, emotional health, physical, exercise, and financial, career. Incidentally, the products that she represents can help in all 3 of those areas. So she could just say, I specialize in helping people get healthy. She doesn't even have to get into the losing weight through proper diet and nutrition. She could just go around the world helping people get healthy just on that and develop a 3, 5, 7, 10 off of that. But she could also develop another 3, 5, 7, 10, multiple for each of these categories. So let's talk about physical exercise. You know, there's 5 basic exercises. And I did this. I'm not even in her industry. And I went online and said, if I was doing this, and this was the one thing that I specialized in, what would I begin talking about? Well, there's 5 basic exercises: push, pull, hip hinge, squat, and plank. That's it. Every exercise fits in those, in those 5 basic exercises. Now, you can buy exercise equipment that can accommodate those 5 basics. Let's talk about exercise equipment. We can go into exercise equipment, or we can talk about 7 most effective exercises. Walking, interval training, squats, lunges, push-ups, abdominal crunches, and the bent over bow. So here's 7 most effective exercises that come out of the 5 basic exercises. So she can get into a how-to. She can do a video a day on walking. There's 7 days in a week right there. And then go back and circle around and talk about walking 2, interval training 2, squats 2, and then the 3rd week, walking 3, and so on. There's enough material there that can carry her 90 days probably. And then here's 10 best exercises for 10 body parts. So this is just a simple example of 1, 3, 5, 7, 10. Hang on one second. We may have lost our our slide presentation momentarily. Bear with me one moment, I'll bring that back. Still working out some kinks on the technology end of it, but I've got it pretty much mastered. There we go. Let's see if that brought it back. Okay, so are you getting the idea? Okay, so Dean is having a challenge seeing some things. Is everybody else able to see the PowerPoint? Excuse me. Everybody okay? Dina, you okay? You still with us? Everybody there? Okay, I'm just going to continue, trusting that everybody's following along. All right, so, okay, perfect. Okay, so now that you've got your 1, 3, 5, 7, 10 defined, you have become credible, at least in one subject matter, or multiple. Okay, I see, Reno. Okay, so let's. Oh, I zoomed in so that I could read the slide. So you only missed the. So just for clarification, I'll post these in the Facebook for Business group. Please join that group so that I can make sure you get all the material when we're done today. So this is all you missed. I was talking about this particular 1, 3, 5, 7, 10. So once you get the 1, 3, 5, 7, 10, once you sound like you know what you're talking about, go start talking about it. Offline is the best way to start perfecting your craft, so that you can do it offline and online, but offline, you need to be engaging people. You need to be exposing yourself to your target demographic or people who can expose you to your target demographic. One of the best ways you can do this is through self-improvement organizations. I belong to Toastmasters and Rotary. But Toastmasters is a self-improvement organization. You will learn how to articulate your 1, 3, 5, 7, and 10 in a way that can translate to more sales. You will become an expert in a very short time with Toastmasters on how to present your product. Toastmasters is a wonderful organization. If you want information about how to find one, go to Toastmasters.org. Look at clubs near you. I think it's called Find a Club, something like it's very easy to find from their home screen. You can do it from your mobile device, and you can find a club. It's I think $50 a year to join Toastmasters. So very inexpensive. And every week, you should join a weekly group. There are groups that meet every other week. But every week, now they're doing it online as well, you will learn how to communicate and articulate with peer feedback how well you're doing at communicating who you are, what you do, who you do it for, and it can result in sales. Now, you don't join Toastmasters to make sales, but I made a ton of sales in various Toastmaster clubs that I was a member of, because most of the things I talked about were things that I could help people with, and offline they would seek me out for that professional advice, and I was establishing myself as a credible expert. Now, I already was an expert, but I was articulating in a way that made sense to the Toastmaster audience as they were critiquing me and learning the various facets of my business, and they would buy from me. So I would strongly encourage you to develop your 1, 3, 5, 7, 10. Get plugged into a Toastmasters organization and start learning how to articulate those points more clearly. And then you can your local Chamber of Commerce. Everybody should belong to a Chamber of Commerce. A networking group is not the same as a Chamber of Commerce. Networking is not why you join a Chamber of Commerce. I know that's a shock to many of you. You do not join a Chamber of Commerce to network. Yes, you can network, and yes, some networking behavior goes on at Chambers of Commerce. You join a Chamber of Commerce because the Chamber of Commerce is plugged into your local community. The way to get plugged into the community is join a service organization, like I've joined Rotary, and Chamber of Commerce. You are directly plugged in to the leaders and the movers and the shakers of your community when you get plugged into Rotary and your local Chamber of Commerce. So why do we join Toastmasters? To improve ourselves. Why do we join the local Chamber of Commerce and service organizations like Rotary? There's others. There's Kiwanis, the Optimist Club. There's lots of local service organizations. I chose Rotary because I want to be where the most influential leaders in most communities I've learned are in Rotary. And I want to surround myself with Rotarians who are all about making a difference in their community, and they are in positions where they can make a difference. Incidentally, these people who are very influential, who have the ability to make a difference, who want to make a difference, many of them become my clients. I used to get asked in real estate all the time, how do you get these celebrity type clients? Many of them are Rotarians. Or they speak at a Rotary Club because they are influential and they know if they're going to have influence in a community that they come to, they tap into Rotary. So I met a lot of my clients. Senator McCain was a Rotarian. I met a lot of my high profile clients in a Rotary meeting. So Rotary is where you literally get to rub elbows with the movers and shakers of the community. I know we have some Rotarians on here. Just type in the comments if you're a Rotarian. I know Greg's a Rotarian and Joe's a Rotarian. Are there any other Rotarians? Just comment that you are a Rotarian so the rest of the group sees who the movers and the shakers are in our community. Now, so self-improvement organizations improve yourself. Local chambers of commerce give back to the business community. Service organizations give back to the community as a whole. And then networking. It's interesting. I see a lot of people that are struggling in business right now. Their only participation in these 4 offline areas of participation has been networking groups. And they are struggling and struggling and struggling. Now, that's not to say that you're not going to have struggles if you're in all 4 of them, but it just decreases your odds of failing if you're more connected. Many people I know are having a very rough time right now because the only thing they did was get involved in networking groups, which are free most of the time or very minimal cost. And they never stepped up to pay what it costs to join a chamber or pay to join a Rotary or network in Toastmasters or some other self-improvement organization. There's a lot of them out there. I picked Toastmasters because it fits ideally right here with what we're doing in developing your talking points. Okay, so when the bottom falls out of business, and right now it's affecting everybody. But sometimes an industry can have the bottom fall out. One particular industry can be impacted where the rest of the world is still working and still doing well. One particular business. I recall when I was heavily involved in networking, the dot-com crash happened. During the dot-com explosion, there was actually 2 big fallouts of the dot-com. One happened several years after that affected just the technology developers. A lot of people don't know about that, but Phoenix during that time was really big. It was touting itself as wanting to become the next Silicon Valley. And so the tech industry fell out, and that was a second fallout that happened. So while all the other industries were doing well, the tech industry just tanked. It was a ripple effect that came from the dot-com fallout. When that happened, all of a sudden networking groups were full of techies wanting to network. But it was too late because they were now just chasing business. They were just chasing people trying to get business. And obviously it didn't work for them. So my point in all of this is you must have an offline strategy clearly defined before you start stepping in to the online environment. And I've listed 4 areas for offline participation for you. Online. Now we get into the online environment and we start with Facebook Notes, website blog, and YouTube. Those are just 3 things that I picked because that's how I begin to approach small businesses that are just starting to learn how to develop an online strategy. If you notice, it creates somewhat of a funnel. We're actually really going to get into right now talking about how these social apps can be used to start creating your funnel. In order to have a funnel, you need to have something that attracts people to that funnel. That thing is your 1, 3, 5, 7, 10. The way you articulate that using the apps, the online apps, whether it be video or articulated through notes, you must be able to clearly articulate that to start your funnel. That creates awareness. Once we have your 1, 3, 5, 7, 10 creating awareness, now we can introduce video. It's interesting. I watch people just pull out their phone and start doing video live. And they're talking in circles. They don't even know what they're doing. They just know they got to be on Facebook Live or YouTube or video because everybody's doing it. And they last for 3 recordings. It's sad when I look through somebody's social media assets. A lot of times I'll get hired by somebody and I'll look at their YouTube and they had 7 videos posted. The latest one was 3 years ago, and all 7 of them were posted within 2 weeks of each other. They tried it and it didn't work. Well, it didn't work because they didn't clearly articulate their 1, 3, 5, 7, 10. They ran out of material. It basically turned into, I sell plumbing. Do you guys need your plumbing fixed? That's basically what it turned into because they had no one helping them articulate their 1, 3, 5, 7, 10. So this is the start of your funnel, using the social apps to begin creating a funnel. Then we can get into Zoom. This is where people can make a decision. Now, we're using Zoom now. In my environment, I would have a meeting or set up a meeting. Now we're using Zoom. I've tailored this seminar to fit the online environment. So, you'll never, for many of you, you'll never have to leave your house again if you master this. Because you can go to a Zoom meeting, very similar to what we're doing here. You can go to a Zoom meeting to do your presentation to elicit a decision, and then you can close the deal, whether right there through the Zoom call or you physically have to set up a meeting to do it, however you do your business. But this is the beginning of the funnel in setting up, and this is what a funnel does. A lot of people, they have no idea what a funnel is. This is what a funnel is supposed to do. A funnel is supposed to create awareness, interest, lead to a decision that leads to them taking action. So if you have a funnel, it's supposed to produce this. I've outlined some social apps, social media apps that can do this for you. But again, the apps are there. The apps in and of themselves don't make the funnel. It's what you put into that funnel that creates this spiral activity that leads to the closing of a sale. I hope that makes sense. Now that we understand your content strategy, your 1, 3, 5, 7, 10, what you should be doing in social engagement, offline and online, and you have a funnel strategy, now you need to have a marketing strategy. That marketing strategy leads right into what I call the 7-step sales cycle. Now, I'm not going to get into the 7-step sales cycle here. That's a whole other seminar that I have prepared for on Saturday, by the way, where we'll get into the 7-step sales cycle. But one particular step here, prospecting. That prospecting is key because now we're going to get into the online environment. You can only fish when you know what you're fishing for. That way you can set the bait up properly and you can drop your line in the water with the proper bait to catch the kind of fish that you want. Bait being an analogy for your 30-second commercial. The one thing that you specialize in. So your 1, 3, 5, 7, 10, okay, should lead what you do, who you do it for, how you do it, and where these people are. That is the foundation for prospecting. I hope I've outlined a clear explanation of how we get into the online environment. Everything has to happen offline first before you start getting into squeezing how the online juice works. You can't just get online with a Facebook Live and say you're the best plumber in the county. You have to have content. That content should be clearly articulated in your 1, 3, 5, 7, 10. Many of you should have multiple 1, 3, 5, 7, 10. Real estate, for example, has multiple. You can't just say I specialize in real estate. I specialize in helping people buy a home. If it's a buyer's market, you might want to be focused on buyers. How about sellers? I specialize in helping people sell their home. Yes, you can do both, but both of those have clearly different 3, 5, 7, 10 articulatable talking points. Does that make sense? So now that we've fleshed out your 1, 3, 5, 7, 10, now we know where your prospects are, and the prospecting is the first step in the 7-step sales cycle. Now we can start getting online and creating the rest of the sales cycle, whether it's offline or online. Now, there are only 2 sides of Facebook. We're going to get into it hot and heavy. Is this making sense with everyone so far? Let's look for some comments. I'm taking a moment so you can write some comments in there. I can come back and look at these later. Many of you are liking the video, and that's great. But if you can put some comments, let's see how we're doing if you're following along. If there's anything that you need me to clarify, I can come back to it when I review this later. Thank you, Mr. Coach S. Appreciate the feedback. Thank you, Reno. Okay. Take a water break. All right, moving right along. There are only 2 sides of Facebook. There's the end user side and the business side. There are no other uses for Facebook. You are either using Facebook as an end user or you are using Facebook as a business. That's it. Only 2 sides. The end user side and the business side. Now, if you're using both, okay, then you are relegated to the end user side. You are not a business if you're using both. What defines which side you're on? You're either an end user or you're a business. Who can tell me, excuse me, who can tell me what defines which side you're on in Facebook? Lisette, just a note. We are going to get into Facebook notes in just a minute. Just buckle your seatbelt because it's going to be fun. So who can tell me what defines which side you're on? You're either on the end user side or you're on the business side. There's no in between. Any comments? Well, I'll just go ahead and give you the answer since we're not getting a lot of feedback on the live. I don't know if you guys are watching through a phone or if it's more challenging. Maybe you can provide me feedback offline. Okay, so what defines which side you're on? Your behavior. What you do inside Facebook. Okay, Reno says where you spend your most time on. Not quite. It's the behavior, Reno. It's what you're doing when you're online in Facebook. When you're inside Facebook, your behavior inside Facebook defines which side you're on. So end user behaviors are liking. End user behaviors such as liking transfers credibility to brands, which is another word for businesses, and does not have any benefit for the end user whatsoever. So let me say that again. Joe, correct answer. End user behaviors such as liking. If you like something and you click that like button, you are transferring credibility to someone else. And that activity does not have any benefit for the end user whatsoever. It actually hurts you as an end user. And it will kill you as a business. Now, I wrote an article about this. It's in a note. You can click the link right there. I'm actually going to copy that link, so bear with me for a second. I'll copy that link and put it in. Give me one moment. I'm going to copy the link. Bear with me one second. And I'll send you the link both in the chat. Okay, here's the link on what happens when you like something on Facebook. It's a very powerful article. Just give me a quick second here. I also posted it inside the group. Okay. Okay. So it's now there, and I'm back. All right, everybody still with me? Okay, so there's an article on what happens when you like something. Read it offline, copy it, put it somewhere where you come back to it. I just posted it in the Facebook for Business group. So liking does not have any benefit at all for you as a business. It actually hurts your credibility. Commenting. Comments carry much more weight than likes because a comment meets Facebook's definition of meaningful interaction. We'll come back to this meaningful interaction phrase in just a moment. Click the link below for a more detailed explanation and analysis of Facebook likes versus comments and what's the difference. Again, I'm going to copy this so that you guys can have that for you. Okay, just bear with me 1 second. I'm trying to help you out by giving you the. Okay, I will post that there and here. Okay, so here's the likes versus comments. Why you should not be commenting anymore ever. And while I'm here, I'll just go ahead and get the next one. Okay. I'll be right back. Here we come. All right. So liking and commenting and sharing are the 3 behaviors that identify in users. You need to stop liking, commenting, and sharing. Every time you like, comment, and share, you transfer your credibility as an authority to the thing or the person or the business or the brand that you liked, commented, or shared. Does that make sense? So I have several articles that I posted. They're on my Facebook profile. You can just scroll down and look at the articles that I published for this seminar. That way I don't have to toggle back and forth. At the end of any one of those seminars at the end of any one of those notes, there's a reference to my 135710. There's probably 20 different articles referencing back to that particular note. Okay, so we know that we're not supposed to be liking, commenting, or sharing. Okay? Those are the 3 end user behaviors. Now, Joe hit the nail on the head when he said business only makes posts to their timeline. The business behaviors are posting the what's on your mind. Click the link below for 8 elements to maximize posting engagement. So that's also available in my notes. I won't bother copying that URL. So there are 8 elements that go into maximizing your post engagement. You need to read that article and follow that to the T, and it will help you increase your reach on Facebook. Now, you notice I'm talking about being a business versus being an end user. We're not talking about Facebook pages. We're just talking about the behavior that you're doing on Facebook. All we're talking about is your behavior. We're not talking about businesses, business pages versus profiles. Everything that we're going to do today involves the profile. We will talk about pages, but I'm going to discourage you for the most part from using pages. And we'll get to that in a minute. Yes, you can use pages, but we're going to get into it really heavy in just a minute about why I'm going to discourage you from using pages initially until you get some traction with Facebook. So some very powerful things that we're going to discuss here in just a minute about profiles versus pages. Right now, we're only talking about posting to your profile in that what's on your mind section. So there's 8 things that you should be doing when you post. You can read the article there to get the details. What's the difference between a Facebook profile, page, and group? I included this in here because a lot of people, they'll say page, they'll say my page, but they really mean their profile. So I'm not sure if they don't understand or if they're just used to saying page and they know the difference and they know what a profile is. Now, I honestly believe everybody knows what a profile is. They can see the difference, especially if they have a page, but they don't understand the differences. So we're going to get into this I wrote an article about it that gets really heavy into it, but we're going to cover it basically because, again, this is where we want to start leaning in having a foundation for marketing your talking points, your 1, 3, 5, 7, 10. A Facebook profile is the end user. Now, all of us are end users. We all have to have a profile to do anything on Facebook as a business. Even if we want to run an ad, if we want to do anything, set up a Facebook page, we must be an end user. We must have a profile. But we don't have to act like an end user. Notice I said we are end users because we have a profile. You're watching this today from my profile. I am an end user, but Facebook will not look at me like an end user because I'm not going to do anything that transfers my credibility to somebody else. I'm not going to like, comment, and share material from someone else. So yes, I'm an end user because I have a profile, but I'm not going to be, my behavior is going to be very much like a business. So we'll get into that a little bit more in a minute. A Facebook profile is what you probably think of when someone mentions Facebook. It's a personal account for one person that's meant to be in their real name. With a Facebook profile, an end user can connect with people by adding them as friends or following them, limited to a maximum of 5,000. They can share statuses, photos, videos, links, and so on with your friends and followers. They can like, comment, and share things on your friends' accounts or message them privately through Facebook Messenger. They can like pages and join groups. You can set up your own page or group. You notice that the behavior of an end user is like, comment, and share. Like, comment, and share are end user behaviors done by end users. Now, you can be an end user, just don't act like an end user. If you want to get massive traction on Facebook, stop acting like an end user, liking, commenting, and sharing other people's material. You want to be a poster, like a business does, and post original content instead of liking, commenting, and sharing someone else's content. I hope this is making sense. Now, a business, a Facebook profile is what you probably think of when someone mentions Facebook. It's a personal account for one person that's meant to be in their real name. That's your Facebook profile. But to use it as a business, you can't have it in your business name. All profiles must be in the real name of the person. Now, I want to share with you, many times a year I get calls from businesses that beg me, they'll pay me any amount of money if I can restore their Facebook account. Because their Facebook account got shut down and they could not verify their identity. Because they opened their Facebook account, their end user account, in the name of their business. Facebook will terminate your account. And it's a simple reporting process. All your competitor has to do is report you. Facebook will lock you out of your account until you verify your identity with the name that's on that account. If you're unable to do that, they'll lock you out. So be very careful in how you use Facebook profile. You can use it as a business, but you can't be a business. You have to be an individual. Just like you can be an end user, just don't act like an end user. Let me say that again. You can be a business and do business things. You just can't have that profile in the name of your business. You must be an end user. That means you're set up your profile in your real name that you can identify yourself with in case you ever get locked out. Just don't act like an end user by liking, commenting, and sharing. If you can understand this foundational point, you'll never need to hire a social media person again. You will be well on your way to understanding how to use Facebook without having to pay to play as a business. And I'll get really into detail with that for you here in a minute. Now, here's an analogy I started using years ago. The feedback I've gotten from participants in seminars said it was the easiest way to understand how this works. I want you to picture Facebook very much like a truck. Your Facebook profile is a truck. We'll just call it a truck. That truck represents your Facebook profile. Your friends ride with you in the back of your truck. Friends are connected to profiles. I hope this is making sense. Your business is the hot dog cart that you pull on the back of your truck. Let's look at it that way. We're going to pretend we all own a hot dog stand. Now, don't call me up later and say, Scott, this is great if I sell hot dogs, but I don't sell hot dogs. I do something else. It's very important you understand this is just an analogy. So, our truck pulls our hot dog cart to the state fair. The state fair is the best place to sell hot dogs. Okay? This is where people like your business. So our friends go in the back of our truck. When someone likes your business page, they become a fan. Does that make sense? So friends are end user, fans are for business. Make sense? It's an easy concept to understand. Now, the thing that fuels the truck used to be relevant content. In fact, when I gave this seminar, the last time I gave this seminar, we talked about relevant content. Facebook has done away with relevant content. It's no longer about relevancy. It's about meaningful engagement. And we're going to talk really heavily about this in a moment. The fuel that drives everything is now centered around meaningful interaction, not relevant content. Now, obviously, to get a meaningful interaction, I must have relevant content. But the engine now that drives everything is meaningful interaction. What does that mean? We'll get into detail with what Facebook says it means in just a minute. Now, what used to drive a business page was apps. Now, apps still have a small role to play. The app, if you look at the illustration, there's a guy behind the cash register that's appearing in your trailer. That guy is an app. That app is what drives a Facebook business page. Now, that app is usually plugged into your business page. It could be a contest, enter to win, blah, blah, blah. Something like that. Most people that have a Facebook page have never used an app. And they've never gotten any traction from their Facebook page other than what they could have gotten from their profile. So, the vast majority of small businesses that are using a Facebook business page have never gotten any results because they don't understand the purpose behind the page. The entire mechanism behind having a Facebook page was having an app that drove traffic to that page. Let me rephrase that. Was having an app that handled the traffic that came to the page. Yes, that's a better way to say it. So how did traffic get to the page? The same way it still does today through Facebook advertising. Now, I'm going to share with you some strategies in understanding how to use Facebook without having to pay for ads. So if ads bring traffic to your page so an app can handle it, and I'm telling you can get traction without using ads, we're going to be focusing on meaningful interaction on your profile. Does that make sense? I'm going to teach you how to start getting meaningful interaction with your profile instead of paying for ads and having to use an app developer to develop an app to handle that interaction so that your Facebook page gets traction. Everything that we're going to be talking about has to do with getting fuel to your profile. So let's look at this seminar as that. I'm going to show you how to put more fuel in your profile so it can take care of you getting more business opportunities instead of having to invest a lot of money in pages. There is a time for a Facebook page. There will be a time for ads, but most of my clients, the vast majority of my clients, are so far away from that conversation, and I don't even have a seminar on that because they can get enough traction and do enough business using their profile if they do it properly. I'm hoping this makes sense. Here's how the new Facebook algorithm of 2020 works. The new Facebook algorithm works by ranking all available posts that can display on a user's newsfeed based on how likely that user will have a positive reaction. So everything from now on Facebook is based on 4 factors. That's it. So when you post on your profile, everything that shows up on somebody's newsfeed is based on just 4 factors. Now, this is breakthrough because for years, since the beginning of Facebook, since the beginning of time, we might as well say, Facebook has never revealed its algorithm. The algorithm has been uncovered by a lot of experimentation, a lot of things that I do and people like me do, discover how the algorithm works. So this is the first time that Facebook has actually ever come out and said, these 4 factors is how we're going to base newsfeed content from now on. So it's absolutely groundbreaking because I'm going to show you, now that we know that we have these 4 basic criteria, we can actually get even more traction than before we knew these. And I'm getting a lot of traction right now anyway. So here's the 4 factors. The inventory of all posts available to display. So there's lots of posts available to display on your prospect's timeline. There's a lot. So Facebook looks at all of that inventory. And the next one is signals. What you're posting signals to Facebook what that post is about. Now listen carefully to what I'm saying. Are you posting an ad? Are you posting something, an event? Are you sharing content? Are you an end user and you're sharing content from somebody else? Are you sharing a link to a group to get someone to participate in a group? So this triggers a signal to tell Facebook what your post is about. Once that signal is received, Facebook measures that with all of the other inventory that person can see on their newsfeed. Now, here's where some magic happens. Then they predict how somebody will interact and react to that post. And then they assign a final score to the content based on all factors considered. Now, I'm really excited when I discovered this, that Facebook released this memo. This is exciting for me because I just gave you 8 elements to maximize your post. I published that 3, 4, 5 years ago because I discovered that that's part of the algorithm. The 8 things that you put in there to maximize your post. That's why for the last 5 years I've been getting massive traction on Facebook because I already know that if I weight my post and it's weighted down like a weight, if it's weighted down with a value, whatever analogy you want to use, with those 8 elements, I know that Facebook assigns me a higher score. So using the emojis, checking in, using hashtags, all of those factors go into how well a post will be measured against other posts that I'm competing with to be seen in their newsfeed. I hope this is making sense. The thing that you control, here's the takeaway in this. You control the signals. You can't control the inventory of all the posts available for your prospect to see. You can't control what Facebook predicts they'll react to it. You can't control the final score, but you can control what you're signaling that Facebook is going to see. Now, this is powerful because I can tell you right now, and we'll get into this in a little bit, what you should not be posting. The posts that you should be posting are the posts that I see commonplace almost every day from most of the people that I look at their news, at their timeline. Those are the things you probably shouldn't be posting because they're not getting much traction. Now, here's the benefit in using a page. First of all, a page is pay to play. If you do not have an unending supply of advertising dollars, which I don't know too many businesses today that have that right now, especially dealing with what we're dealing with. If you don't have access to those kinds of funds, the pages are not the place for you. But the benefit of having a page and posting in a page, if you pay to play, if you pay to post, is that you get insights and you can see how well that post is doing. You don't get that with a post on your timeline in your profile. So that's the only thing you don't get. So if you follow my 8 elements, you know that you're getting good exposure anyway. So, and you can determine by the interactions you're getting if you're doing well. But so you may not need the insights right now, but you will want them later as you start understanding how this online environment works. So here's the new Facebook algorithm works by prioritizing content. Here's the memo that actually came from Mark Zuckerberg. The new Facebook algorithm works by prioritizing content posted from friends over publishers, those are pages, with a focus on posts that spark conversations and meaningful interactions between people. So what Mark Zuckerberg came out and said is, we're going to change everything that you know about Facebook. And we're going to, instead of relevant content, you need to post something that sparks conversations and meaningful interactions between people. In other words, people need to be on board with what you're posting. No longer just looking passively, oh, somebody posted something. They need to be engaging it, which means you need to step up what you're posting. How do you step up what you're posting? You need to clearly articulate your 1, 3, 5, 7, 10. That's for starters. Because now you're going to have much more meaningful things that you can post. And you can spin off that. Instead of posting an article about 10 things you need to know before you go outside, you might want to specifically create an interaction and ask people what they're doing before they go outside to prepare to ward off germs. Something like that that creates an interaction. I'm hoping that makes sense the way I explained that. Here's the takeaway. Number 1, friends over fans. And number 2, meaningful interactions. Now, here's you can read these offline, but I'll just highlight. We've always put friends and family at the core of the experience. This is what Mark Zuckerberg says. It's easy to understand how we got here. Video and other public content have exploded on Facebook in the past couple of years. The 2 takeaways here are friends and videos. So you need to be focused on friends, on your profile, and creating video. So video creates massive interaction. Okay? That's why it's exploded on Facebook. So based on this, we're making a major change on how we build Facebook. I'm changing the goal I give our product teams from focusing on helping you find relevant content to helping you have more meaningful social interactions. There it is again. Meaningful social interactions. How do we do it? The first change you'll see will be in the news feed, where you can expect to see more from who? your friends, family, and groups. As we roll this out, you'll see less public content like posts from businesses, brands, those are pages, and media. And the public content you see more will be held to the same standard and should encourage meaningful interaction between people. For example, there are many tight-knit communities around TV shows and sports teams. We've seen people interact way more around live videos than regular ones. Some news helps start conversations on important issues. Here's the 6, 7, 8 takeaways from this. Friends and live video are huge takeaways from this. Again, focusing on delivering content to your friend base, not your fan base. Today we use signals like how many people react to, comment on, or share posts. That right there tells you shouldn't be liking, commenting, and sharing, because those are signals to Facebook, to advertisers, of what's working. Are they appealing to you? You're transferring credibility to that brand if you like, comment, or share. It sends a signal. Okay? And it prioritizes that content in your friend's newsfeed. So if you like something, it's going to appear in your friend's newsfeed. Not you, but they bypass you and post that other content in your friend's newsfeed. It says it right here. Today we use signals like how many people react to, comment on, or share posts to determine how high they appear in the newsfeed. That's reason enough to stop liking, commenting, sharing. With this update, we will also prioritize posts that spark conversations and meaningful interactions between people. These are posts that inspire back and forth discussion in the comments and posts that you might want to share and react to, whether that's a post from a friend seeking advice, a friend asking for a recommendation for a trip, or a news article or video prompting lots of discussion. We will also prioritize posts from friends and family over public content consistent with our news feed values. Listen to this. There are 6 takeaways here. Spark conversation. Back and forth conversations. Seek advice. Use recommendations. Use live video. And friends over businesses. This is probably one of the most powerful memos Facebook ever came out with, because it's telling you, it's laying out a blueprint for how to do business on Facebook. What does this mean for pages and public content? Right here. Because space in newsfeed is limited, showing more posts from friends. You want to be a friend, not a business page. Showing more posts from friends and family and updates that spark conversation means we'll show less public content, including videos and other posts from publishers or businesses. Right there says you should be doing Facebook Live from your profile, not from your business, if you want a snowball's chance in Hades in getting in somebody's newsfeed. As we make these updates, pages may see, whenever Facebook says may, it means will. Pages will see their reach, video watch time, and referral traffic decrease. It tells you right there, less from pages and your page reach will decrease. What types of page posts will show higher in the news feeds? Posts that generate conversation between people will show higher in news feed. For example, live videos often lead to discussion. Live videos on average get 6 times as many interactions as regular videos. In groups, people often interact around public content. Creating events and news can help start conversations on important issues. Using engagement bait to goad people into commenting on posts is not a meaningful interaction and will continue to demote these posts in news feeds. What does this mean? Here it is. Posts that generate conversation will show higher in the newsfeed. Bottom line. You must post something that gets people excited, upset, irate, happy, something that gets them actively engaged to generate conversation. Live videos lead to discussion. Groups interact around public content. Again, participating in groups. Connect with people by creating events. News issues can spark conversations. Engagement bait no longer works. Telling people to like something. Telling people to like, comment, or share. Those words are now flagged inside Facebook and will get you at the very bottom of the news feed, if you even make it at all. I hope this memo makes sense. Now, how are we doing so far? We'll take a moment and take some comments. And we're back. Yeah, Reno, we all had to do a lot of rethinking. Reno says I have to rethink everything now. Coach Hess, I will have links in the, if you scroll back through the chat, you'll see a link to the Facebook for Business group that I have, and I'll put all the links in there. Dina, I will have this PowerPoint available and all of the links and everything inside the Facebook for Business, which I think you're a member of that group, Facebook for Business. Let's just take a moment and make sure you join the Facebook for Business group. And I'll post that link again right now so it's fresh. There's the link right there for the Facebook for Business groups. Click on the link, join the group. I'll add you, and I'll make sure that tonight, before I call it a day, everything that I mentioned will be inside the Facebook for Business group. I'm looking at it right now so I can add anybody who's recently requested. Okay, so I don't see any more new members. Okay, I'm still here. Okay, we're going to continue. I think we're back. I think everything's okay. All right. Here we go. Get ready. Everything I'm going to cover, you can come back and look at. Again, I'll put it inside the Facebook for Business group. Here is the 10-point checklist to optimize your Facebook profile. These are 10 things. Actually, there's a little bit more than that, but it's identified in 10 separate categories so that you can do right now when we get off the seminar, before you go to bed tonight, you can start maximizing your reach and your SEO inside your Facebook profile, behaving like a business, but using it user, but being very business mindful, not to act like an end user. Here we go. We're going to get started. And for some reason, my video is freezing. Let's check, make sure we're still okay. We have a lot of resources that are going into making this. Let me look and see if I can see it on here. Okay. And it could be a Wi-Fi issue. I'm just going to continue. And again, the entire presentation will be inside the group. Okay, optimize your Facebook profile. Allow search engines to find you and hide your friends list. These are probably the two most important things. And I put this in an order that made sense when I did it out of a priority. Let's see. My camera keeps cutting off. We should be okay. Okay, I think we're okay now. So allow search engines to find you and hide your friends list. So there's two things in your privacy setting I'm going to walk you through. Jose, the checklist is inside this presentation, and I have it available in my notes. But however, it's still in a draft because I'm going to add this presentation to it when I'm done. So it's not publicly available, but it is here inside this PowerPoint. So privacy, let's talk about allowing search engines to find you. In your personal, go to privacy, find the setting that asks, do you want search engines outside of Facebook to link to your profile? Make sure it says yes if you want Google to find you on Facebook. This is probably one of the most overlooked free marketing tools that you get by having a Facebook profile. And hardly anyone is doing it. Every time I start working with somebody, I check their settings, and I have yet to find a single client that had this toggled on. So they either don't know it's there or they just are clueless. So I'm going to clue you in today on where that's at. So I've laid it out for you. If you go to the little drop-down arrow, now don't do this now. Please don't do this now because you will get lost in this process. I'm just going to walk you through, and I'm going to show you that this is here for you when you come back. I promise you this will be here for you when you look at it inside the Facebook for Business group. For some reason, my video is lagging behind. And it's the only thing I can think of is it because I have so many resources opened up, or the internet as a whole, the internet has been slowing down, I've noticed, over the last few, especially this last week. All right, so here it is. Number one, click on the small drop-down arrow. Yeah, if you want to follow along, but the visual is good. You can run this side by side on your computer screen after we're done, and it will walk you right through it. This is done from a laptop, so it's not done from a mobile device. So the small drop-down arrow, go to Settings. You're looking for the Privacy, and the fourth, all the way to the bottom, right there, click Edit. When you do that, there's a little toggle switch. Allow search engines outside of Facebook to link to your profile. After you do that, you click on close. Let's go do that again. I'll back it up. You can see it again. It's simple. Click on the drop down arrow. Click on settings. That drop down arrow is located on the far right side of your Facebook blue bar. It opens up this screen. Go into privacy, which is the first heading of the second section. Click on edit on the very bottom there where it says, do you want search engines outside of Facebook linked to your profile? Edit, toggle that checkbox yes, and then close. You're done. Simple. Now you got free SEO. You get free search engine optimization. Somebody can Google you. Now, this is search engine optimization. Obviously, if you have a unique spelling in your name, somebody can Google you and find you anyway. But if you're not so unique, if you have something that somebody can Google not showing up, this helps because now Facebook is the most powerful searchable database on the planet. And now Google will be indexed to your profile by clicking that button. But what's going to show up in Google? This is where we're going to get down and dirty here in a minute. Right now, before we leave here, we want you to hide your friends list. Lock down your friends list to prevent marketers like me from marketing directly to your friends. Now, I would never do that to any of you. But there are people who, thanks, Greg. Be safe out there. Okay, so lock down your friends list. I'm going to show you how to do this. You don't want marketers to find your friends and message them directly. It's an easy fix. I'm going to show you how to do that. Again, we're in the privacy settings. Okay? And there's the 1, 2, 3. Let's go through it again. Here in the privacy settings, the same place we were. You're going to edit where it says, who can see my friends list? You want that to be only me. Only me. You're the only one who wants to see your friends list, not anybody else. I could go to your profile right now and I can see who your friends are. You don't want that because now I have access to who your friends are and I have access to their data, see where they're spending their time, and I can start marketing to them directly without your knowledge. That's why you want to lock down your friends list and make it private so only you can see it. Moving along. Your About section, work and education. Make sure that you have your current businesses listed at the top of your work section. Connect it to your business page. Include a description. Curiosity. Revisit your description quarterly to update and keep it sounding fresh. This is probably one of the worst areas I've seen Facebook users who are business owners don't know how to use this feature. If you are, well, I'll show you how to do it. Click on the About section under your profile timeline, under your profile cover page. Click on, it'll open up that section, work and education, and then it opens up this page where you'll click Add a Workplace. Now, what you don't want to do, I'm going to reference Mo. I know that Mo is an independent consultant for doTERRA. You do not want to put doTERRA in here. Anything that you put in here is going to be used by Facebook to market against you and market toward you, not you marketing outside it. Anything you put in here, Facebook is going to use to push. Let me explain to you what I mean by that. Think like a business. Mo, you should have your own Facebook page. Your own Facebook page, Facebook will promote to other people who fit your like characteristics. Have you ever seen that window at the bottom of your Facebook feed that says people you may know? That people you may know comes from the information in the About section of Facebook profiles. What that means is Facebook is going to use the information you have here to promote to other people. You don't want, if you're an independent representative, you do not want Facebook promoting your parent company. You want them promoting you. You want all free publicity to go to you, not your parent company. So if you're a Mary Kay rep, if you're a doTERRA rep, if you're an Ambit Energy or the energy consultant people, you do not want you work there, because Facebook will promote that to your friends, not you, or to the friends of your friends. That's a better way to say that. So everything that's in this section will be promoted to the friends of your friends to develop what Facebook calls mirror audiences, people who are similar to other people. So if you have a bunch of people who, let's say we're looking for 6 things in common, five things in common. Your particular demographic, they predominantly drink Starbucks coffee. They predominantly shop at Target. They predominantly live in what county are we in? I'm not in Harris County anymore. Whatever county this is, Sugar Land. Anyway, so we're looking for people with these with these 3 things in common, and they shop at Bass Pro Shop. So they drink Starbucks coffee, they shop at Target, they shop at Bass Pro Shop. They all live in Harris County. We'll just say Harris County, but very few of them, a handful of them are some way connected to essential oils. If I was an essential oil representative, I would want Facebook to be putting my profile in front of them, not my doTERRA or my parent company in front of those people, to develop other things that other people have in common. Does that make sense? When Facebook is developing those like and similar audiences, I want them promoting my parent company. Now, that being said, there's a way to manipulate this algorithm. I'll get into that in just a minute. Here's where you would put the details. You only check the box, I currently work here, if you want it to appear first in your news, in your About section. Now, this is going to seem counterintuitive, but I'm going to share it with you. You do not want to put other companies that you used to work for that compete for attention for what you do now. A good example is real estate agents. Sometimes real estate agents work for a number of companies before they get to their current company. So let's say I used to work at Coldwell Banker, and then I worked for Max, and then I worked for Keller Williams, and now I work for ABC Realty. A lot of profiles reflect all of those. If I was in real estate, I would eliminate every real estate company except for the one I want Facebook to be putting out there in front of your audiences of who I am and who I work for. And of course, that wouldn't be my broker page. That would be my page, because I work for me, not a broker company. Yes, I do work for a broker company, and that would be shown in accordance with the Texas Real Estate Commission on my profile and my page. But I would be representing my page, not my broker's page, in my About section. I hope this makes sense. If you need further clarification, I'll be happy to go over that with you offline. Now, Facebook uses this information to farm and put me in front of people that I have enough similarities with, that, and maybe some common friends through a large group of people, that Facebook might want these people to see me as somebody they may know. So that means there's a way to manipulate this, and I'll get into that in just a minute. Right here. This is called careerinfonet.org. All of you should know who the largest employers are in the state of Texas, in your county, and in your city. Careerinfonet.org shows you where to find this information. It's free. Just go through the steps like I'm sharing with it now. Here's the results. In 6 steps, 6 clicks, that's it. And I'll show you right where to go to get them. Right here. Careerinfo.org, state information. You find the state. This defaults Alabama. You would scroll down to Texas. Click continue. Right here's all the demographical information for the state of Texas here. This is a powerful free marketing tool that can help you clearly define demographical information for areas that you might want to market in. You can actually look at this and see demographical information county by county, so that you may have a county that you're unaware of next to you that does more business in a particular niche that you want to target. Now would be an appropriate time to run an ad on Facebook targeting that particular city or county based on the demographical information you get from here for free. Powerful tool. But I'm going after the state's largest employers. Why? Because in here, okay, we'll come back to that in a minute. In my About section, I'm scrolling back to it. In my About section, number 5 is a toggle switch. So you see 4, 5, and 6 there. That toggle switch toggles information that I want the public to see as publicly available. There's a lot of information on my profile that I don't want the public to see. For example, in my profile, I've indicated that I have worked for the state of Texas top 10 employers. And I don't want anybody to see that. I don't want anybody to know that because I didn't really work for the state's top 10 employers. So why would I put that in there? I'll get to that in just a second. So I put in there that I've worked for the top 10 employers. And I put it right here under work and education. Toggle that switch from public to only me. So only I can see that information. No one else. And obviously I don't put I currently work there. But I put that I've worked there for 20 or 30 years. So 25 years I think is a good number. Facebook will now expose my profile and my real business that I do work at, which is my Facebook page. Facebook will now start promoting me for free, and all those people who work for the state's top 10 employers for the last 20 years, if I put that on there, and I'll be in front of those prospects for free, having to run an ad. That's how you act like a business on Facebook without having to pay for advertising. All I'm doing is manipulating the algorithm. I'm feeding information into the calculator. That's all it is, so that it calculates that these are other people who I may know, and it puts me in front of them. So how important is it to understand my target demographic? Where they work, where they shop. Could I be putting that I work at those places? Absolutely. If I know that I sell coffee, if I'm in a coffee distributor, I put in my profile that I've worked at my local Starbucks for the last 20 years, and every local Starbucks in my sphere for the last 20 years. Facebook will then begin promoting me and my non-Starbucks coffee company in front of everyone that's ever checked into a Starbucks in that, or worked at Starbucks, or tagged Starbucks. Now I begin free promotion in Facebook in front of that demographic. So again, understanding your target demographic is one of the most powerful things you can do before you get in this environment, so that you can take a simple tool like where you work, where you went to college. In my profile, it says I went to all of the top universities in my area where people are likely to have gone to that college. In this example, it makes no difference if I really went to college in California and Washington State, where I really did go. Now, that is included on my profile. You can see that. And now you'll see it publicly because I want it shown because I really did go there. But if I'm just using it to manipulate the algorithm, I'll hide it because I'm not as concerned with people seeing coming to me. I'm going after them, and I know Facebook will put me in front of them. And they won't know why. When you see those people you may know, you don't know why you may know them. In fact, many of you look at those people and go, I don't know that person, anybody. Why would Facebook think I know them? That's why. Because they have information in their profile. Facebook is mirroring your profile along with the thousands of other group of people that you have enough in common where Facebook says you may know this person. Maybe it's mutual college, work, something. You just don't know why. Well, in here, this is the why. Because putting in their profile, or you're putting in your profile, common indicators, or you've checked in, you've liked, commented, and shared information that forms that mirror, which is why you should stop liking, commenting, and sharing. I hope this is making sense. Now, moving right along. All right. Set your contact information to public. Right here. In that About section, scroll down to the contact information, and you can edit right there, and you put the globe to make it public. So let's go through that again real quick. Contact and basic info. Make sure your phone number, click the edit button there, make sure that it's got the globe displayed and that it's public. Okay? And you save changes. Real simple. You do that for each of your information. Now, I don't have any physical storefront. Okay? What I do does not require me to have a storefront, but I still put my demographic as Richmond, Texas. I even put my neighborhood, Waterside. I have a publicly available email address. So that's a real simple, easy thing to do. In your About section, here's the details about you. I apologize if the video keeps breaking up. Look into that offline, but this is being recorded, so I'll review the recording. Definitely the Facebook, the PowerPoint will be available inside the Facebook group when we're done. In your About section are details about you. Add more details about you, including any awards you've earned, and be sure to add your favorite quote to tell others a little bit about what makes you tick. Now, this is not what you think it is. This is not details about you. It's for the end user. But for you as a business, you want to put this on a business spin. Here's how you edit the details about you. Now, if you look at what I put, I specialize, now again, listen to that verbiage. I specialize in helping. This should not read like a sentence. Now, it just happens to read articulately like a sentence. But you want it to read more like an SEO search. I specialize in helping chambers of commerce, business economic development councils, realtors, multi-level marketing, sales teams understand Facebook and Google apps and online social media platforms to generate leads. Underneath, I put all of my real estate credentials. Real estate broker, insurance broker, mortgage and finance broker, all the acronyms, who's who in America real estate, legacy leadership graduate, all of my accolades, because I know that when people search, this is indexed to Google for SEO so that when people are searching for chambers of commerce, I may pop up. When people are searching for business economic development councils, I may pop up. That's exciting for me because I'm able to get ahead of not having to pay Google ranking. I can get ahead of that a little bit. And it actually happened recently for me. I had a phone call from a Chamber of Commerce in the greater Houston area that called me to do a program. And they found me through a simple Google search. So it's pretty powerful. And it's interesting because they found me through a Google search, but they didn't search for my name because they didn't know that I do what I do. They found me through searching for something else. I didn't get into detail what they searched for. I'll find that out later when I meet with them. But I have a contract to do a speaking engagement, a full program, a paid speaking engagement for a Chamber of Commerce because they found me through, and I don't pay for a Google ad. So it's powerful your about section. Although nothing appears here, scroll your mouse over this area until the edit button appears. So up there is where you edit that content. Add an intro at the top of the left column. A little bit about yourself, your goals, or quote, or something interesting. Here's how you add an intro. Click on your timeline, click edit. Real simple. You fill it in there, and then you click public. You make it public. That is also indexed to Google. If you look at written, it highlights those key target demographics for me that I'm looking for. And then you save it when you're done. Okay, here's another overlook area. Add up to 5 featured images to your timeline. These display. Me, I add my most of these are things that are important to me. Toastmasters, Rotary, I ride my horse to Starbucks, I'm a U.S. Marine, and then here's a sprinkling of some of the celebrity clients that I've worked with or famous people that I've had social interactions with. So I want that there because that adds more credibility to what I'm doing. Check your social media URLs. Right here, again, contact at basic info, social media links, click on the button there, 1, 2, 3, it spells it out. Easy for you to edit those links. Add your website and group links in the same place. It'll even show you add. If you add it or edit it, add it if you haven't, or you can edit it if you have. All of the social profiles should be on there. Your Snap, if you use Snapchat, your Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter accounts should all be indexed. All of those are to promote your profile to those various social media organizations. I'm going to say that again because, again, people pay me good money to do things they can do for free. And all I do is get them out there using these techniques. So add your social media profile, your other social media profile, and group links. You can also add your website. Use featured albums. Featured albums is one of the hottest, most underused features in profiles. Mo, if you're still listening, Mo, you can actually do a photo album on one particular group of oils that formulate a strategy for taking care of a situation. So you can have multiple photo albums. You can have a blend of the week or blend of the month, and feature an album on your profile. Featured albums are not being used by anybody that I know, except for me. So that should tell you why I'm on my 15th profile right now, and why I have an abundance of clients, even when times of crisis where we may be struggling to get clients. Here's how you add a featured album. Go to Photos, click Create Album. Make it public. And I did a test album so you can see how it works. Right there's the button, Feature on Profile. I don't know anybody that's using featured albums. An entire album that deals with a specific subject matter to be featured on your timeline. Turn on the Facebook Note app. Somebody asked earlier if we were going to get into notes. Let's see. I think it was... Lisette. Welcome, Lisette. Here's where you turn on notes. Let me pull it back up. Turn on the Facebook Note app. From your profile view, just below your main profile cover photo, click on the More drop-down arrow and look for the Notes app. If it doesn't appear, click on the Manage Sections link at the bottom. You can check which apps you wish to use. Here we go. Here's your profile. There's the More button. It opens up a drop-down menu. Go to Manage Sections. You don't see the menu, the Note app in that menu. Let's do it again. Here's your profile. Click on the More button. It drops down the menu. If you don't see the app in that menu, click on Manage Sections. It opens up the Manage Sections portion. And there's what it looks like. Find the Note app, put a tick mark in there. You can also eliminate what other apps you don't want to appear in your profile. You can also move the Note app up. If you notice, I moved mine up. It's positioned just the default apps, which are slightly grayed out because you can't edit, you can't uncheck or move those. So my Note app is directly under the More button when you open up my profile. So if you see the More button, you'll see right under there, my Note app is right underneath the More, after the default apps. Excuse me. Okay, remember this? We talked about awareness, interest, decision, and action. These are the apps that go into, right now we're just talking about Facebook. Facebook is the most powerful tool to get your target demographic aware of you, who you are, what you do, how you do it, and who you serve. One of the best ways to articulate who you are, what you do, how you do it, and who you serve is inside the Facebook Notes. That begins building your funnel. Now, in order to do the notes, you need to articulate your 1, 3, 5, 7, 10. You have multiple of those. Once you can articulate it well enough, you should be doing videos. You should have a YouTube channel or a video channel set up so that you can house most of this information is free. We have not discussed anything so far that requires the payment of a fee. Not even Zoom. Now, to do more with any of these, it may be worth it to pay a small fee. But for free, you can get massive traction for free just understanding how to articulate your 1, 3, 5, 7, 10. Fine-tune those points so you're comfortable enough to talk about it in video, YouTube and Vimeo. That creates interest. Okay? Then you need now that people are interested, you're becoming an authority, you have massive credibility, and now people are interested, you need to send them to a squeeze page. Now what is a squeeze page? How do I find out more information? You said you can help me get healthy. You talked about 3 areas of health. I could really use some better exercise strategies. You showed me 5 basic exercises, and I think I need a little bit more comprehensive help. Where do I go now? Click here, go here, wherever you send them, you need to send them to a squeeze page. A squeeze page is created to solicit, squeeze, information, that's a phone number, an email, or other pre-qualifying information from a prospect. So now you've squeezed the information out of me, and I've landed on a page. Now, everything I do on Facebook has a link to here. So my funnel, I have over 100 articles across my Facebook profiles. Every one of my articles has a link that's for more information. Click here, and it takes them to a squeeze page where I squeeze information out. Now, I can't see who's reading my Facebook, no, but I can see who's interested enough to fill this out because I get an email and they get massive amounts of information right here. They can friend me if they haven't done it already, like my page. They can watch a video about who I am and what I do. They can call me, text me, email me. They can leave a review and look at my reviews, and they can go directly to my website. So a squeeze page. Thank you, Lisette. I did that especially for people like you, because I've heard that from a lot of people. Lisette says, now I don't have my notes to remember all of this in the presentation. I've got it all. That's why it took a little longer to create, but I got it now so that it can be delivered this way from now on. So I just need to work on the video feed and figure out why that's halting the way it is. Okay, so they go from the squeeze page to the landing page. A landing page is a page where prospects land after they are squeezed for their information, phone, email, or other pre-qualifying information. So many of my clients are online right now watching this. A few of you are. And you'll see that this is how this is supposed to work. You're supposed to have your 1, 3, 5, 7, 10. That's supposed to be communicated. You're supposed to be in networking groups doing your 30-second commercial. You're supposed to be doing 10 and 15-minute presentations at Rotary, at Toastmasters, at your networking group, at Chamber of Commerce events. You're supposed to be talking a little bit more at length about what you do, and you develop those talking points from your 3, 5, 7, 10. And when people are interested, you should be sending them to a landing page, a squeeze page. You're squeezing what what interest level they have, and then they can now go to your mobile landing page or your mobile app and learn all about what you do. Now they're pretty much pre-qualification stage. They're pretty much pre-qualified for a presentation. There are 7 elements you must have in a mobile landing page. A social connect, a video, because Facebook video, Facebook is saying video is 37 times more popular than a regular video. So 37 times more traction is a video on Facebook than just a regular video. Contact info. They can call, text, or email me. Reviews. Your website, social share, and a call to action. Those elements should be on your digital business card. If you're my client, you're looking at your digital business card, look back at this and see what elements you're missing and get on that right away. These are the elements that drive more traffic. Now, the very fact that I have several links here. I have social sharing that connects to Facebook, my Facebook. I have a button that they can like me and another button that they can friend me. Every time I use a social link outside of a social platform, it creates more ability for me inside that platform. Facebook now has another channel of reach. I am sending traffic to Facebook from this app. The minute somebody engages in that, Facebook begins to mirror that profile to their friends. That's powerful. So now, Offline, I'm engaging people offline. Or online if they saw it in a note. The minute they engage and they go to my squeeze page or landing page and they take an action, Facebook begins marketing me and my business and my page to their friends in a mirror audience. People that are very similar to them will do what they just did. So if they're friends with a lot of people with similar characteristics that own small businesses, those people, Facebook says, may do the same thing that they did because they're also small business owners. That's the power in having a social media funnel, the way I've described it set up. Yes, Reno, everything will be posted in the group. Okay, and I don't know why it's cutting off. I can't figure it out. Huh. Okay, here's some stats for mobile for business. This is why you want a mobile squeeze page and a mobile landing page. And here it is in action. All of the assets working together so you can close more deals in the social apps. And I've laid them out there right now the way I explained it to you guys. Here is how it should look in a funnel using everything that we talked about. Facebook Notes, site blogs, you can use both, but the notes are more powerful, especially when you're inside Facebook. Using events that you can speak at. Toastmasters and Rotary. Using Zoom and GoToMeeting is also another popular platform. Squeeze pages, landing pages, and finally using Zoom to present, or if we ever get allowed outside again, we can meet people in person and do presentations. That's my approach. It's a 4-step approach. Research, strategy, create, and promote. The only thing we didn't talk about is promote, because that's what I do when people hire me. I set up promotion campaigns using the 1, 2, 3 that either they paid me to create for them, or a combination of I've created some and they've created some. We take the 1, 2, 3, all 3 of those, and now we're ready to promote through Facebook groups, events, in Meetup and Eventbrite, through offline networking, and through email, good old-fashioned email. It still works. So a quick note about reviews. Facebook page reviews have the power to bring more customers to any business. My friend Joe Axline, is an expert in getting positive reviews for your business, whether it be on Facebook, Google, Yelp, any review platform. And suffice it to say, because of the video and the cutout, I'm going to abbreviate this. And please do not leave a negative review because of the recording. I hope you can look back at the content. And I'm going to adjust my strategy. And next week, I'll be doing this again. And I'll probably be using Zoom. And that may fix the issue. But I wanted to go Facebook Live first.
No matter where you do business, online customer reviews are insanely influential. Reviews determine how people perceive a business, whether or not they would buy from it, even its visibility in search engines. Maybe you have a great company, great products or services, and lots of happy customers. But other than hoping and praying, what can you do to make sure your customers share the good word where it counts? You don't have any control, do you? Yes, you do. Our review management platform gives you a simple review funnel process that's easy and effective. Here's how it works. Happy customers don't often write reviews, and they'll tell you why. They never thought to do so, or they forgot to do so, or it's just too difficult. Are these problems our system can solve? Absolutely. We automate the tasks of asking, reminding, and guiding your customers through completing reviews on the review sites that matter to you. What about unhappy customers? You said you don't have any, right? Of course, stuff happens, and there are those customers who you'll never please. Our review funnel process gives your business a second chance to fix any problems and to recover unhappy customers before they vent online. So the net result is more and better reviews for your business from your real customers, finally giving your business the online reputation it deserves. It's all done for you. So maybe you can't control what customers say about you online, but you can do more than hoping and praying. When you're ready to take control, get in touch.
Okay, if you'll go to givemeathumbsup.biz, you can get more information about Joe and what online review management can do to help you generate leads. Again, I strongly encourage you to look at how reviews and the review process can help in that push-pull marketing that we were talking about. Instead of pushing all the time marketing, sometimes pulling. It's easier to pull a lead in than it is to push your business onto somebody else. Reviews is a great way to pull in a ton of additional qualified leads for your business. So give me a thumbs up.biz. Give me a thumbs up.biz. That's my friend Joe Axline. And this can help you more with that. So how are we doing so far? I'm sorry about the connection. I don't know what's happening, but I will make this available to all of you in the Facebook group. And I promise you the next time I do this, it will be a much better experience. I'm going to do it with Zoom. Please leave a review about what you learned today in the slides. Please don't. I can't control the internet, but the things I did have control of are the PowerPoint. So I hope that the PowerPoint was informative. I like what you said, Lisette. Lisette, I will call you offline. There's some other information I have for you. Our business together. But hopefully you can hear that through the audio. But please leave a good review about what you learned today. The best review. You see it says client review contest. The best review, as judged by me and my wife over the weekend, will win a free landing page and mobile digital business card. So please leave a review. We'll judge the longer, better review as judged by my wife and I will win a digital business card. So I hope that'll help you in your marketing efforts. Here's some reviews that you can read about what we were able to do for quite a few clients. Here's some of the business pages that I've had a direct hand in mass marketing. Worked with a lot of politicians and public figures. Any questions? Here's the time for questions and answers. And in the interest of time, we're right up to 2 hours and 56 minutes. I actually think I can deliver this in under 3 hours, including questions and answers. I'm going to make some modifications already and adopt the Zoom platform. And that should fix some of the connection issues that we've had with Facebook. And any questions and answers, please submit them in the comments. I'm available offline. I didn't include my phone contact tab in the notes. I'm including my number if anyone has any questions. They can there. And we will continue here. Next steps. So, if you're interested in how I can help you go steps beyond what we just covered here on how I can actually help you start generating leads, I'll appreciate your comments. Reach out to me. I included my number there. It is 2 hours and 57 minutes, going on 2 hours and 58 minutes. I think I accomplished what I set out to do, is to deliver a 3-hour seminar on a Facebook Live in under 3 hours with an action-packed, fully loaded, illustrative presentation. I hope that helped you. Please be safe out there. I will talk to you next week where I will do this again, but I'll use Zoom and I'll make the announcements on Facebook. Have a great week. I'll see you next week.